Is it worth it to put any stock into what the streets are saying in Vancouver? I don't know. But in this video, there is a topic I wanted to discuss that dives into the Vancouver Canucks and whether or not there is a possibility of the team trading down at the 2026 NHL Entry Draft. Now, I know what you may be thinking, Lego. You're insane. Like, you've been saying all this time throughout the course of the year, the Canucks are so bad. They're last. They suck. They better get first overall. They better get Gavin McKenna. They better kickstart their rebuild the right way, right? You were saying all that, and yes, that's absolutely the case. We were saying that in multiple videos for multiple months throughout the course of the season. Ever since Quinn Hughes got traded, it was like, okay, well, now this season's gone down the toilet. Now they're at third overall and you want to trade down? I'm not saying I want the team to trade down. I'm just talking about the idea. And here's why. So earlier yesterday, there was a post made by Taj that was quite interesting. And again, this is just the streets going out there and saying whatever. But this tweet had 50,000 views and a number of people responding to it. It's of course extremely rare that a top 5 pick ever gets traded. But rumor has it, the Vancouver Canucks have had conversations about trading down and are supposedly open to the idea. You have Abby, Hockey2L, who quote tweeted this saying, hey, the Canucks may be willing to trade down and take Keaton Verhoeff. A response asks, why do you think it's Verhoeff? And the reply underneath that says, because apparently Todd Harvey, Vancouver's director of amateur scouting, really likes Verhoeff. And apparently he hates small people like, okay, Viggo Bjork. If they trade down to 6 or so, Verhoeff would be the only one they're targeting. If they're trading down to like 4 or 5, they might still get Malhotra. Now, first of all, Shine, I like that profile picture. Keep it. The Chainsaw Man Reze Arc movie was a brilliant piece of cinema. But also, I like where this user's head is at. When you think about the Vancouver Canucks and their supposed factions internally, we had reports saying that parts of the Canucks executive scouting staff really like Caleb Malhotra. We had reports saying that other members of the staff really liked Ivar Stenberg. And then we had other reports saying that the third guy that's getting a lot of traction behind the scenes is Keaton Verhoeff. And any one of these guys would be maybe not surprising at third overall, depending on the time of the year you evaluate the situation. Because right now, with Jeff Merrick going out there and saying that, hey, Caleb Malhotra could be as good as second overall in the eyes of some teams, with Cam Robinson saying that potentially there is at least one team that has Caleb Malhotra ranked first in the draft, with Frank Saravelli talking about Ivar Stenberg as his projected first overall pick, putting in his mock draft that the guy would go first overall to Toronto. And then you have the Keaton Verhoeff discussion, which has been all over the place, but earlier in the season, this guy was a challenger for first overall. Any one of these guys, Malhotra, Stenberg, or Verhoeff, would realistically be a target at 3, depending on who you ask. But if you look at the tea leaves and you look at how the draft conversation has unfolded over the past few weeks, it does seem like Keaton Verhoeff is losing steam in the eyes of the general scouting community. Maybe within the Vancouver Canucks and their organization, Verhoeff is still doing all right. It's been reported that he had spoken to Vancouver already earlier this season, and they had a great chat. If Todd Harvey, Vancouver's director of amateur scouting, is preferring Verhoeff the most, well, guess what? Harvey is still there. He's not one of the main dudes that was at the top of the food chain making decisions on the Canucks. It's not like Alvin and Rutherford were pushing for Verhoeff. By all accounts, it seems like they were pushing for Malhotra. What the Sedins and Ryan Johnson may be thinking about, that's totally up in the air. Maybe they're the ones who are interested in Stenberg the most, because Daniel Sedin was scouting the World Championships, watching Ivar do his thing with Viggo Bjork, and they were so good together, and man, it'd be great if the Canucks could get both of them. Imagine getting 2 Swedes at the top of the 2026 draft. But for Keaton Verhoeff, the one standard that has remained in Vancouver's scouting body has been Todd Harvey. From earlier this season to now, Vancouver was reportedly interested in Verhoeff earlier in the year when they were talking about conversations of McKenna and Tynan Lawrence and whatever. Verhoeff was right in there. Seems like he's still in there. And if the Vancouver Canucks are thinking, hey, if we're really set on Keaton Verhoeff, if we have the 3rd overall pick, maybe trading down wouldn't actually be a bad thing, because Verhoeff right now, his consolidated ranking on elite prospects, oh, I'll tell you, it's not number 2. It's down there at number 4. And that 4 is inflated by some of the reports that are still here that say that he is 2nd or 3rd overall on their list. You had Frank Saravalli saying that Keaton Verhoeff is going to be the best right-handed Western Canadian defenseman in 25 years. Like, okay, crazy. He's going to be better than Cale Makar. That's amazing. And then you also have other folks saying that Keaton Verhoeff can be this number 1 guy. Maybe not a Zach Werenski type like a Chase Reed, but more like, I don't know, Noah Dobson type? I've seen that conversation and comparison thrown around a bunch. Whether or not you buy into that, it's your call. But if the Vancouver Canucks are thinking about trading down from 3 to, let's say, 5 or 6, if they do think that it's worth it for them to drop 2 spots to get some extra assets because a team really wants a Stenberg at 3, they want to overtake Chicago because Chicago could very likely take him if he is available, or if a team really wants to take a swing early on Caleb Malhotra because it's probably likely that Chase Reed goes 2nd, maybe that works out too. Heck, if Frank Saravalli's mock draft comes true and Keaton Verhoeff actually goes 2nd to San Jose instead of Reed, maybe Vancouver can trade down because, hey, if they actually liked Verhoeff more than Reed, why not just go down a little bit further, try to take Malhotra at 4 or 5 if a team really wants to take a swing on Reed, that's possible there. Or, of course, Ivar Stenberg could also be an option. The fact is, this NHL draft does not have a definite 1, 2, 3, 4. In previous years, we were able to say, all right, well, McDavid is going to go 1, and Eichel is going to go number 2. Whoever goes 3, it's up for debate, but you could probably say Strome was going to go 3, and then Marner was going to go 4. Guess what? That's exactly what happened in 2015. In 2020, we all knew that Lafreniere and Byfield would go 1, 2, and then Stützle would go 3. That was all the rage back then. Then you had some of the other guys there, Lucas Raymond, 4th overall, Jake Sanderson, 5th overall. That was a really easy to predict top 5. This year, though, oh yeah, Frank Saravalli is mocking Verhoeff at 2nd. We've got other analysts saying that their San Jose Sharks pick is going to be Chase Reed. We've got Frank Saravalli who mocked Ivar Stenberg to Toronto at 1. But most of the other mocks have McKenna number 1. That is until you look at Corey Pronman, who had Chase Reed ranked freaking number 1, and Keaton Verhoeff is all of a sudden in the mix there too. It's all over the place with this draft, and with maximum chaos comes maximum opportunity. And for the Vancouver Canucks, you can debate that if they're going to take a player at 3rd, like Caleb Malhotra or Keaton Verhoeff or whatever, they would maybe be in a better position if they traded down. Because it's either, all right, you trade down, you could still get a guy that you want, and you get some extra assets, or if a guy with a high ceiling like Ivar Stenberg is not available, maybe he goes 2nd overall, then you can let teams bid up because your 3rd overall pick is really valuable, and depending on which team wants which guy, they might be able to shell out a big price to get him. And if you're Vancouver and you're interested in a guy that would probably go number 5 or 6 anyway, like Verhoeff, maybe that's a possibility. It doesn't seem like they'd be interested in getting Viggo Bjork because apparently Todd Harvey doesn't like small players. If the Canucks were able to pull off some wizardry like that, though, trade down from 3 to 6 or 7 or whatever, get some assets, get another top pick, and then you take Bjork anyway, that guy might as well be better than Caleb Malhotra, depending on who you ask. I actually like that idea a lot, but it seems like Keaton Verhoeff may be the more likely trade down target for Vancouver if you buy into what the streets are saying on Twitter and the rest of social media. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the idea of the Vancouver Canucks potentially trading down? Does this make sense? Is it a realistic outcome? Is it going to depend on how badly teams want Malhotra or Reed or Stenberg or whomever else is available at 3, and whether or not that upgrade for Vancouver is worth keeping the pick. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Roll 99, and bye.